Lady Gaga, welcome to breakfast.
Thank you very much.
Lovely to see you, and I immediately award you the prize for the biggest hair of anyone I've ever interviewed.
That's the nicest thing you've ever said to me. Thank you.
Can you just talk us through the look?
Well, I stopped by for fish and chips, and I just started, putting things in my hair. No, actually, I'm very inspired right now by older classical artwork, and I've been looking at the Venus de Milo, and I thought it would be fun for my fans, especially during Applause, my single now, to be the Botticelli Venus de Milo in motion. So she's coming to life through me.
And you literally have crustaceans sort of in your hair?
Yes, my little seashells.
I'm thinking that must take a lot of work.
Well, it takes a lot of glue guns and bobby pins, and we had to go deep sea diving very early in the morning to get these seashells fresh here for you and be on the breakfast show.
And you very kindly donated me this little item here, just so I could kind of blend in a little bit.
Well, we're more matching.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Yes.
Can I ask you how you are?
Oh, here, let me just turn it over for you because it's falling over.
I'll try and do that.
There you go.
While I try and get that right, tell me how you are.
Oh, I'm fantastic. I'm really happy, and being back in the UK has been so exciting. And yesterday during rehearsal, I just was having the best time because I just had surgery like 6 months ago, I think it was. And my muscles are still waking up as I'm dancing. Come on!
What was the nature of the injury? Because people were saying you were close to having a hip replacement.
Well, it was just repeated use, and I work really hard, and I don't really have a threshold for pain. Meaning, I can take a lot of it, and I just kept going. When I hear those applause, I don't feel anything, and I just kept going out on stage and doing the show. And one night in America, I just started to feel some pain, and that was after 99 shows. I had a crater in my hip and a labral tear, but it's all fixed now.
And you said that you as you're on stage now, you're just sort of going through the motions, just making sure everything's working properly.
Yes, well, I'm reawakening my muscles. I'm dancing the same way I've always danced, and I'm going in there with no fear, but I can feel my muscles sort of spasming and waking up as I'm dancing, and it's kind of exciting. I feel like Frankenstein.
But anyone who's had a serious injury knows that feeling of, thinking, am I doing too much too quickly? That kind of feeling. Yeah,
for sure. But I think the fear was more before that I would never be able to do this again. And
Did you really think that way? Did you think it was that severe?
I was nervous, sure. I mean, when the tour ended, I loved my fans more than anything. And I love making music, and I surely love being a star for everyone. But I more love being an entertainer.
Were you a good patient?
That is arguable. Was I a good patient?
I sort of think you might have been just itching to get out, get up too early, move too fast, do things too quickly. The doctor's saying no, lay back down.
Yeah, well, I was really good at rehab. I really focused, and I worked really hard. Even when I was in my wheelchair and sitting at home, I wanted to dance, I wanted to perform, I wanted to sing, I wanted to go out and write music, I wanted to go see things for inspiration. So, yeah, they had to kind of strap me down a bit, but it was good for me. It was really good for me. I needed that. Sometimes, God forces you to stop.
The single is called Applause, and you talk a lot about how the buzz you get from people watching you. I'm wondering, there will be a time when you don't perform anymore. I mean, I'm not talking about now, I'm talking about way in the future. And when you have such a close link, it really drives you. Do you ever think about, how you can replace that, or is it...
Well, I don't ever think I will ever stop performing. I mean, I may not be dancing on stage in the same way or performing in the same way, but, I'll find a way. I'll find a way, because really what the song Applause is about is I play with all of these ideas of it. Is it a buzz, right? Like you just said, is it a buzz or do I live for it?
I live for the applause, applause, applause. I live for the applause, applause, live for the applause, applause, live for the way that you cheer and scream for me. The applause, applause, applause.
What I'm talking about with applause is pure adrenaline, pure love, an energy that is beyond a buzz. It's so much greater than any addiction or fixation I've ever had to overcome. It's something that is rooted in love, and that is really what I learned during this break. I learned that it's not a fix. I learned that, if only fame had an IV, baby, could I bear being away from you? I found the vein, put it in here. It's meant to be this sort of ironic, joking lyric about what people think of the performer and how we're addicted to the fame in that way. But then when we get to the chorus, I say, I live for the applause. Give me that thing that I love. Put your hands up, make them touch. And that is not a drug. That is a pure visceral reaction from the audience, and it's friendship.
Well, when you describe it like that, it sounds very healthy and lovely. But is there a downside to that in terms of needing that from people? Do you understand what I mean by that?
Yes, I do. I think that there's definitely a downside to it if you're really focused on the attention as opposed to what you're offering the audience, if that makes sense. I don't get the adrenaline rush when I'm not on. When I'm good, when I know that I'm focused and I'm hammering those dance beats and I'm singing really well, that's when the applause really happened. And at the end of the tour, when I was breaking, I didn't get that same feeling. And it was because I wasn't doing the show to the best of my abilities. So there is a difference. I want to make good as a performer. My parents really instilled that in me. I don't want to just get by. I think where it becomes unhealthy is when the obsession's not rooted in hard work, when the obsession's rooted in just camera flashes and fame.
When you get addicted to the fame.
Yes.
And have you seen others that you think that's happened to, that you use as your kind of warning card?
It's just sort of the way that culture has changed, especially in America, that there's an obsession with celebrity culture. Now there's no distinction between the celebrity and the artist. It's like we've kind of been lumped all together in one pile because we all have big hair, or we all have on makeup, or because we're all photographed. But the reason that I'm photographed is different from why other people are photographed. And that's the distinction I'm trying to make on art pop, is the intention of the work. The intention of the work is not to make you love me. The intention is always to make you love you, and for you to truly have a transcendent experience with music and leave feeling better than you did when you came in.
Thank you so much for your time. Be careful as you stand up.
I know.
I'm worried about that.
I got my hair cut in your lights at least 3 times as I walked in.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.